This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Philippines, good evening. Mayang gabi sa Tibok Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, up to Sabah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Ako po si Eric Espina at ito ang inyong nag-iisang republika sa iisang bandila. Tonight we're going to be discussing something very substantive, something very important. It is at the heart of the democratic process of our country. And we better fix this ASAP because in the next, 2018, there will be another electoral exercise. And I'm talking about reforming electoral delay. Let me say that again, reforming electoral delay, because that is what the strategy is always for any winning candidate. And of course, to give us his wisdom, his experience, his story, Attorney Glen Chong. Good evening. Mayang gabi.
Mayang gabi, Eric, and thank you very much for having me in your program tonight.
Yes.
Sa atong mga televiewers, mayang gabi, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Okay. First scoop. If offered the chairmanship of the COMELEC, would you take it?
That's up to the president.
Which means you are not resistant to the idea.
Well, if the president will trust me, I will take up the challenge.
Okay.
But it's really the president's choice.
But as by way of a scoop, if the president chose you, it's a done deal.
We cannot refuse the president of the
Okay,
republic,
then,
diba? Anybody will value the trust of the president. So who am I to refuse the president of the republic?
Who are your other nominees? People who are as good as you are.
I am not aware of others because I am not privy naman, Eric, to the short list or the long list.
As far as your personal knowledge is concerned, who would be a good candidate next to you?
Mahirap because I do not know many of these people. But insofar as fighting the electoral problems of this country, ang mga kasama ko kasi karamihan, hindi mga abogado, mga IT experts. So they would not be qualified to become chairman because the chairman of the COMELEC has to be a lawyer.
Correct.
So,
but can an IT expert be
he can be a commissioner, yes, of course.
And we don't know. Do we have an IT commissioner? Wala,
actually,
no?
dati si Gas Lagman.
Yes, pero
Lagman,
nawala na yun eh.
But as of now, wala silang resident IT commissioner talaga.
And if you could recommend to the president, who would that be?
Marami naman tayong pagpipilian.
Marami akong kilala.
There's Nelson Celes.
Okay.
There's Toti Casino.
Toti, yes.
Oo. Marami pa namang iba dyan who are qualified also.
Or the Computer Society of the Philippines can make that recommendation, no?
Yes, of course. They would
as a collegial body, no?
They would be in a better position to know kung
to do
sino
that,
yung
no?
qualified.
But that would be a good approach.
Yes, it would be better if there's at least one or two.
Or two.
Oo, kasi as of now as we look at Commission on Elections, ang nangyayari kasi, Eric, mga kaibigan, is they outsource the elections to Smartmatic.
Okay.
They outsource the election to
Yes.
Smartmatic. The good thing, the ideal is that the COMELEC should have its own expertise
Yes.
in running an automated election system.
Uh-huh.
They should have their own AES, automated election system infrastructure, already in place. So that pagdating ng election, they will just simply use the infrastructure already in place. Ang nangyayari ngayon, we have become so dependent on the monopoly called Smartmatic. It's actually a monopoly because lahat naman ng kontrata nabibigay sa Smartmatic. The call center for the elections.
They can actually play God, that's what you're saying.
They are actually playing God
Yes.
in our elections.
Yes.
So that's why they're untouchable. Walang nakukulong sa kanila even if we have so many cases filed against them.
At walang nababaril sa kanila, no?
Oh,
Dito sa Pilipinas kasi ganon, di ba? Pag dinadaya ka, dapat lalo na pag banyaga ka.
Ang kinakaya lang nila naman yung mga riding in tandem, walang security I suppose Smartmatic could afford.
You know what makes me wonder in this journey of ours in computerized elections is why, I don't know, like any good father, I suppose, you test the waters. Why didn't we have pilot projects with the computerizations? Why did we?
We did have. We did have
Yeah,
in the ARMM and the ARMM.
Yes, and I remember Regalado Maambong said the truth of the matter is there was no real elections that happened in ARMM. So, and of all,
That's another problem talaga, Eric. ARMM has always been sorry ho sa mga kababayan natin doon, but the elections there in most cases are pre-shaded yung balota.
Yes.
Natiterrorize yung mga kababayan natin. I think the COMELEC, remember, on election day, the COMELEC is the most powerful institution in this country.
Yes.
They could deputize the military, the armed forces of the Philippines. Why would they not do it?
And the worst part is, after the elections, they leave Mindanao. So guess what happens? The teachers would rather respect the warlords that are already in front of them.
Because they're there all
because
the time.
They are there to,
because they are there all the time. Mas natatakot sila doon. But then, the COMELEC is not without means to enforce the law.
Correct.
Because it's just political will. Look at the president, this president, President Duterte. Nagagawa niya ang gusto niya because he has political will. But if the COMELEC will only do it, malilinis yung eleksyon doon.
But again, we go back. Why did they pilot test it of all places, ARMM? Why not somewhere like
Eric,
a small city or one in Luzon, one in Visayas, maybe Cagayan de Oro.
And that I cannot really answer you. Kung
but it makes a lot of sense, no?
Talaga.
It makes a lot of sense. So to pilot test first the computerization program before you decide na, pwede pala ito lahat na.
Yeah, they piloted it in the ARMM, and one of the ng sumali is the Smartmatic.
Okay.
And that's when na-discover yun doon sa WAU, Lanao del Sur.
Okay.
Lanao del Sur ba yung WAU? Okay. Or Lanao del Norte. Basta Lanao yun, WAU. Hindi na-transmit yung results because there was a glitch. Sumobra yung boto Kasi yung tatlong teacher, sumali doon sa pagboto. It's not supposed to be. So lumagpas yung number of voters. So hindi tinanggap ng canvassing system. Kinalikot from Manila. Naayos. Nakapag-transmit. That is not allowed because supposedly the machine is unidirectional. One direction only. From the machine to the canvassing system. Ang nangyari, kinalikot from Manila, ibig sabihin, pwede palang pasukin from Manila.
It can be tweaked.
Yeah, it can be tweaked. That is a no-no. Hindi dapat ganun. Because if you can do it anytime, you can also manipulate the results of the elections.
The purpose of pilot testing is really to find out whether the system works. But if you start tweaking it, you're loading the dice. In simple terms, you're loading the dice.
In favor of Smartmatic.
In favor
to be clear. Ito pa, nag-testing siya. Demo unit. Aba, umusok. Umusok yung makina.
So how would we have known if ARM worked, the test run worked, if we are tweaking it? So how would we know if we can make it nationwide? Kaya
ang problem kasi ang problem kasi with Smartmatic is chinupi nila pabor kay ng COMELEC, chinupi nila pabor kay Smartmatic. And ever since, we've been held by the neck ng Smartmatic with millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. Remember, the Philippine election contract is the biggest in the world.
Now, that's a good point. No?
But hindi tayo pakakawalan ng Smartmatic dahil there's so much money here.
And then, why ARMM of all the pilot projects? I mean, we're throwing out ideas here now. We're just brainstorming here now.
Dapat
I mean,
nga,
any sober individual would say, bakit ARMM? Why not choose one in Manila or one in the Visayas, one in Luzon, and then one in... Ganun dapat, no?
Dapat ganon, yes. I think, to be fair naman sa COMELEC,
Yes.
it's because it was a national election in 2007.
Okay.
So, siguro because it was one political jurisdiction na malaki rin.
Yung ARMM.
Oh, yung ARMM, kaya doon sila nag-test. To be fair naman sa COMELEC, hindi naman all the time that we will criticize them, but I think for purposes of ease of kasi pag I don't know because this was manual election, di ba?
Yes.
Pwede rin kasi the province of let's say Leyte.
Pwede, yes.
Automated yan.
Yes.
The province of Cebu.
Yes,
Or even the city of Cebu, the city of
Buo lang
Mandaue.
yan buo na yan
Pwede actually.
Pwede,
Pero I think they were looking at a bigger area na pwede nilang i-test.
But they're testing an area, I don't want to use the word notorious, no? But which has a history.
Or probably they were testing it there in ARMM because they want to find out if they can get away, if they can eliminate cheating.
And they had to tweak it afterwards. That's
But the problem is they tweaked it afterwards.
Exactly, that's
so
why.
In other words, it's not anymore the locals who are cheating, but it is the national, si COMELEC mismo ang nag-tweak. Through Smartmatic, because it was Smartmatic who actually tweaked it. So, yun ang nangyayari. It defeats the entire purpose.
And then, from an observer's point of view, when something is new, you test it always. It's the most sober thing to do. You test it.
You actually test it and test it
Pilot
and test
test it.
Yeah.
You don't, in short, you don't feed because it might have an allergic reaction to the nation. And what did you do? You fed it.
Eric, there are so many variables, di ba? Because this is a complex system, intricate system. There are so many variables that you cannot actually be sure. Hindi pwedeng isang testing lang.
Several yan.
Well, of course, in this case, 2007 nag-testing, by 2010, they were already in place.
Precisely.
And that's when we discovered the machines do not count their votes correctly. Hindi naman talaga nabibilang ng tama ng makina. As what happened in the case of Cebu City. We found out recently na I was able to get hold of a document. Okay. It's called Random Statistical Report.
Random Statistical Report.
This concerned the case of Mike Rama versus Tommy Osmeña.
Okay.
This was a protest case in the city of Cebu. Then, in that random statistical report, there were 40 precincts that were listed. 40 precincts. Nandun yung may barangay is there. So, Barangay Guadalupe.
Yes.
That's the biggest barangay in Cebu City.
I know.
I think you're
from
also
there.
in Barangay Guadalupe,
I'm in
di ba?
Barangay Guadalupe, yes.
We belong to the same barangay.
Yes.
Okay. So, it was there. Nandun yung Barangay Guadalupe, mga 4 siguro. But not all because it was random.
Yes.
So, remember, Cebu has more than 800 precincts. Okay. So, there were only 40 in that random statistical report. Kasi random nga eh.
Yes.
Okay. So, sinilip pala nila yung sa Vice President.
Okay.
And what happened there is that Bongbong Marcos was deducted 43 votes.
43 votes.
Leni Robredo was also deducted 13 votes.
Okay.
Okay?
And then, saan napunta yun?
Nabawas, hindi binilang ng makina. Mali ang bilang ng makina.
Mali ang bilang.
So, remember there were 40 precincts listed in that random statistical report. 14 had erroneous reading sa Vice President. So, 14 out of 40 is 40%.
Yes.
Okay. That's a high incidence rate.
Yes.
At 40%, 40% of the machines are wrongly counting the votes.
Yes.
Okay. So, nababawasan dyan si Bongbong ng 10 boto.
Yes.
Meron naman nadadagdag na 2.
Yes.
Meron nadadagdag na 1, nababawasan ng 5. So, the net minus for Bongbong Marcos is 43 votes. In the case of Leni Robredo, it's 13 votes.
Okay.
Now, ang contention ko dyan is that this is not a statistical, this is not a pure innocent error of the machine.
This is all over. That's what you're saying.
No. What I mean is, hindi ito inosente na nagkamali lang yung makina. Because there are 2 possibilities.
You say it's purposive.
Yeah.
Wait, we're going to pause for few reminders when we return.